Hey guys, Jcc2224 here, and I figured I'd take a more casual look at the three Walmart 3 3/4 inch Black Series figures that I got for The Last Jedi. Now, my hype for the movie will not really be mentioned too much in this video because there pretty much is none, but hey, new 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures, they're super rare to come by these days, so I figured I'd buy the latest wave. I did not buy Rose because the design of the character, and especially the figure, didn't really interest me. I'm not much of a Rebel fan, so that really... Oh, a freaking person in a generic jumpsuit, that looks really exciting, doesn't it? Oh, they have a gun too? Whoa! Yeah, I can't say I was interested. But these three figures are pretty decent. And you may argue, oh, another white armored guy, but hey, I like troopers. If you didn't notice, I like clone troopers especially, and I really like troopers with unique color decos. And it's really cool to see a trooper with a black deco on him. I think that's a first. I'm pretty sure it's a first for the movies and everything. There's probably some EU stuff with black deco, but hey, you know, it's first for the movies, and that's pretty nice. So I want to talk about how different these figures are from other previous Walmart figures, because the freaking Force Awakens Walmart stuff was terrible. Now, it wasn't that bad. I'm being a little more dramatic. But let's compare the Executioner here to the standard Walmart Stormtrooper released for the Force Awakens, because there's quite a difference, especially with the helmets. If you take a look at how they painted the helmets here, you can see, of course there are different sculpts, because there is a slightly different helmet design for The Last Jedi. But you take a look at this helmet, it's missing a lot of paint, it's very sloppy and kind of misaligned, and it just doesn't look that good. But this head though, this nice little helmet, pretty solid. I can't really see any issue with it, except maybe this eye is a little off to the side. But hey, what can you do? It's a small figure. I can forgive a small error like that. There isn't really much to talk about with 3 3/4 inch figures. I have no clue how people can make 20-minute reviews on them. But articulation is pretty standard, you know. He does have fair elbows. He actually does have hinges at the wrist, which I find pretty interesting. He does have a waist joint, does have the outward at the hips, does have the knee joint, and he does have the ankles, so it's all there. For his paint, it's a very nice matte black for the shoulders, and this part, do you see the black here that goes around the shoulder? Not the shoulder pads, but this part? That is not painted on the 6-inch Black Series version. I am shocked that they missed such a pretty obvious detail. But hey, at least this one has it, and the one I actually wanted has it, so I'm fine. He does have the black stripe going on the helmet, which looks very, very cool. Really reminds me of the Force Unleashed Stormtrooper Commander. The accessory here is unbelievably painted. It has a lot of grays and whites and blacks. It has translucent blue energy beams. I'm curious how those are going to work in the movie. You can see the handle, too, is really exquisitely detailed. I'm a huge fan of that. There really isn't much else to talk about with this guy. It's a 3 3/4 inch Stormtrooper. It's there. That's all it comes with. It doesn't come with a pistol either, so that's a little bit of a letdown. But overall, very nice figure. Now, the Luke is a little less interesting. But it's freaking Luke Skywalker. We've been waiting for a figure of this guy for 2 years. He doesn't come with the lightsaber. I just had it in his hand. He comes with nothing. That's his main problem. He comes with the hood, and he comes with nothing else. He couldn't even come with a cane or anything. I don't know. He even has a hook right here for a lightsaber. I have no idea why. Articulation is pretty much exactly the same as the Stormtrooper, except you have a little more hindrance with the tunic there. You have a little bit more elbow range. He actually does have, I don't remember. Oh no, they're just pegged hands. Are they? Kind of looks like there's a hinge there. I'm just going to say they're pegged hands, so please be careful with those. They don't have a hinge. Don't try to hinge them like I just did. I'm worried that's going to break now. Yeah, they're just pegged hands. You can see they're just unpegging. So I would watch out for that. He does have a swivel at the waist, or is it a ball joint? Oh, it's actually a ball joint. That's pretty cool. I do like that. His legs are pretty hindered by this really hard plastic, but you can see the articulation is pretty standard over there. You know, you got the super tight hinges I really don't want to mess with. You shouldn't really pose his legs around too much anyway, because he's just going to stand there and be sad, right? For his tunic, it's actually the best 3 3/4 inch tunic I've really ever seen. I don't really think there's much of a problem with it. It lays on his head beautifully. And the rest of it's alright. These little strands should not be here. You can either cut them off, or what I do, I just kind of tuck it behind the cloak, because I think, hey, you don't really see him, but you're not damaging your figure. There really isn't much else to talk about. Paint's nice, likeness is really nice. I'm really happy that this thing actually exists. So let's talk about the Praetorian, because this one is certainly the most interesting of them all. Now this design, you love it, you hate it. Me, I'm kind of in between. It's an alright design, I really don't have much of an issue with it, but I certainly prefer the original Royal Guard design. These arms are still pretty weird. For articulation, it's pretty much exactly the same. But his arms, I do want to talk about, because these are rubbery pieces, you have to move out of the way. And instead of having actual, you know, kind of tiered layers there, he just has a hinge. Nice basic hinge. He also does have hinges at the hands, so you can get them to move. I don't remember, I think this is, yeah, you can see it's also an in and out there. Waist, pretty typical. Legs, they work great. I really do like them. This is cloth right here, so it's not plastic like Luke. Only accessory is this. This looks like a Power Ranger weapon, okay? This looks a lot like a weapon that the Red Ranger would use in some Super Sentai. It is just a Power Ranger weapon. I don't really like it too much, but hey, what can you do? It's the design that the sequel trilogy has decided to go with. And also, another thing about him, he has virtually no paint on his person besides that little dot right there. Yes, that's a little paint detail that they put on him. That's literally almost all the paint on him. Hope you enjoyed taking a look, because everything else is pretty much just molded parts. You do have a little bit of paint behind there on the leg, which I do appreciate. But all the rest is pretty much just molded, colored. That's interesting, but hey, it's a very basic design. What do you expect? It's like being surprised. Oh my god, the Stormtrooper is all molded in white and it only has black paint. Of course, it's all molded in white. So there you go. There's my short little review. 7 minutes to talk about 3 figures. There really isn't much else to talk about them. This guy should not be here. Can you leave, please? Thank you. So there you go. They stand all right too. They typically stand all right on their own. The Executioner does not like standing on a base. His foot peg is a little too hollow for it, so keep that in mind. The other two are perfectly fine. So there you go. So there you go, guys. Wake me up before you go. That has been my video on these 3. Hope you enjoyed taking a look. More casual video. I'll probably make a more in-depth analysis of the Last Jedi toy line after it's all said and done. But there you go, guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links down below. And that's pretty much it. Have a good day, and as always, may the Force be with you. Bye.